Hello, friends. How are you today? Well, today I would like to talk to you face to face. And I don't normally record my face on the screen, except for the few lives that I've done. And I don't know, I just had this feeling that starting to speak with you more directly might be kind of cool. And it might help me to communicate some of the things that I'd like to say, because I'd like to talk to you guys about energy and some other things. And I got to have a lot of practice doing this in my human energy workshops that I taught online with a lot of you in 2022. And I had always wanted to do seminars, and I started them at the beginning of 2020, which you can imagine what happened with that. Thank God I didn't rent a space for a year. That's all I can say. Before everything was closed down. So I thought I'd make this video because I recently, didn't make my videos for several days. Well, it was at least 9 days. And the first thing that I wanted to do was thank you guys who are my audience and who have been with me for a while. I really, really appreciate your sticking around, because I know that every once in a while I do that. Every once in a while I go away for a few days. Sometimes it's only 4 days or 5 days. Sometimes it's 8 or 9. And I know that it seems like you guys have gotten used to it, that happens. And, it's interesting. Thankfully, I have a lot of passion about sharing my work with you guys. And what I've found is that this passion to share these things that I've learned, and primarily about energy and how to manage your own energy, and in doing so, change your life or improve your life, enhance your life, live your life more fully, more in line with what you wish, and maybe with more love and satisfaction, because all those things have happened to me, learning the skills and tools that I've learned. And well, anyway, where was I? I was saying that I really wanted to thank you. And so I thought I would do that in person by actually appearing on video and saying hello and saying thank you for sticking with me all of this time and all these years. I know it's a big internet thing to be like right there, oh my God, something's happening on the Schumann resonance or whatever. And, everybody wants to know right away. And I have resisted being in that mode. And the reason why is because I'm interested in people in my audience. I'm hoping that my audience has a deeper interest than like just one or two lines. Like, hey, this happened, boom, on to the next thing. And that's totally fine. Okay, if you're here for that, I'm okay with that too. Because it takes all of us and all kinds. And sometimes people just throw comments in, and they might be from that, way of looking at things. And it really helps me. I sit and think about what people say, unless I get a hit that it's just not relevant, like, they know what I'm talking about. One needs to understand when to, when you guys write the comments, I get a ping on energy. And so if someone's being paid to write comments, I might get a ping on that. Or if they're in a bad mood or something like that. Okay, so hold on. I have my thing in here because then I can check the sound quality, because I really, really like to have good sound. So what I wanted to say is I thank you for sticking with me, even though I have these ups and downs. And what I was saying is that my work really motivates me. it's hard to explain. It's just a passion. I'm just so passionate about it. Like, how did this happen? It just happened. And it comes from love. Like, it comes from like the soul level love, the love that I created this beautiful, like, this is my design right behind me, right? That level of love, like, that's so amazing and just there, you know? Well, I developed, a mechanism, a process to practice. And by processing that and practicing it, I got in touch with that level of love. And really, in my view, when you get in touch with that level of love, you're in a fifth dimensional state. And so I'm really big about living it. It's important to talk about these things, and these things can seem woo woo or out there. A lot of times when people talk about light and love, you know, it's in the air, right? It's a concept, but how do we ground it? Right? How do we ground it into our lives? How do we live it? Not just in the world, right? The world is outside of us. How do we live it in our bodies? This is the question. It's the question for me. And gosh, somehow I just came upon this, and I'll tell you the stories of how that happened over time. If, this resonates for you guys and people watch it, and I get the sense like I should keep doing it. But I thought that, I thought that I love doing the charts and the Schumann resonance, which I do, and I love the analysis. And I do have a deeply mentally, analytical nature, and I did that in my work when I was in corporate, analyzing and making reports and charts and data, all that stuff. But some things really are better communicated in an energetic way by me using my system, my energy system. So that would be my body and my field. And so when I work with people, this is how we do the work. We usually work on Skype or video, or I work in person, although not as much as before in person. But because I have learned how to use the field to communicate. And so when I'm communicating, I will be communicating with the field. Now, if you're an intuitive or sensitive, you just read people well, or however you perceive yourself, then you will get the idea that you can pick up on things. And I communicate in a way, there's one lady, Lily, and hi, Lily, and she's been watching me for quite a while, and I'm really grateful for that. Well, anyway, in the comments, she was saying that how she would fall asleep, listening to my video. I believe that there were some more details. I'm gonna leave them out, and I've had that comment as well. I listen to your videos and I just fall asleep. Well, see, it's because of the, essentially etheric communication. It's essentially the level of energy communication. And so when someone tells me that they're, listening to my videos and falling asleep, well, obviously it might just be that it's relaxing to, to hear my voice or something, which I'm only saying that because people have said that they like my voice, which I'm so grateful for. Thank you, God. Okay. I didn't know that would be a thing when I started making videos. So it's just super wonderful. Where was I? When someone says that they're falling asleep, how I perceive it is that what they want is they want the energy communication. And sometimes to get your mind out of the picture, so to speak, to get the analytical mind out, then that's when, it's easier if you just get into a drowsy, sleepy dreamtime state. Yeah. So, and then let's see, what else did I want to say? What I wanted to say was that the passion that I have for doing the work has caused me to really look at, how can I improve doing the work? How can I improve doing this work? And my latest thing has been to look at, it's really emotions that will happen as these emotions will overtake me, okay? I'm more emotional than I might appear. And emotions will just rise up. And it gets to be like, well, stressful. And I'm sure that, because of the comments that many people have made, I'm sure that many of you might, or at least some of you might relate with what I'm saying. But so, my friend Andrea has taught me how to read the astrology charts, and I never was really personally interested in learning that. And thank God she taught me, because I've learned so much. And I've learned to look at sort of little things in the chart and go deeper and gain a bigger understanding of what is happening. Well, so I was talking to another friend and this week, and she was saying, we were talking about her issues, and then we were talking about mine. You know how it's nice, like when you have a friend, and some people, they just want to only talk about themselves, right? So I really have made a choice. I just don't want to do that anymore. It's just, I really want people who are kind of, where it's more balanced, where we talk together when it's more balanced. Anyway, so we talked about her stuff, and then we talked about my stuff, and because I was trying to understand, how when it's your stuff, it's harder to see. And I was trying to understand how to dig myself out of this hole, okay, that I was in, because some amazing things had happened. Okay, see, darkness turns to light, right? I don't just say that, I live it. I really believe in living it. Why say things unless you're going to live them? Anyway, that's my view. So everything that has happened, some of it was positive and some of it was negative. There's really positive and really negative. I'll just say that. And so in the space of the days in which I was kind of quiet and didn't record, I made the full circle, the full circle, seeing, delving into the depths of the darkness and bringing out where's the light. And listen, this is what I want to say. One of the things I want to say to you, um, when we have an issue, um, when we have an issue, sometimes, we're like, this person did this and this person did that, this person did that. And I'm just laughing because I'm thinking of someone else I talked to that was on and on about this, okay, recently. So, and I like to keep things very neutral in terms of details, because I want to be respectful to people who I have relationships with or that I do sessions with, or whatever it happens to be. Discretion is important. So anyway, when everything is outside yourself, all right, and this is even for me, right, because I get into that too. It's a sign that it's not, this is going to sound weird, it's a sign that it is not about the other person at all. Now, you might say, well, in the details, they actually did do X, whatever X is, to me, okay? And that did happen in the past few, well, really going back to January. But that doesn't matter. The actual event, it matters for context. But what did it mean to me? How did it affect me in energy, in the physical, in the mental, spiritual? And what were the results? How did I engage with that? And energetically first. And so when we allow ourselves to pause, this is something, is a real technique that I found very helpful, to pause. So if I'm willing to pause talking about the other, and they did this, I'm just laughing because I know I've done that myself so many times. Okay, so okay, but I'm willing to put that aside. Now, what does that? Now, what do we do? Now we look at ourselves within. So what happened was, I didn't even know that anyone else was involved. I'll just deal with one of these situations broadly. And in January, I came to the conclusion that to do my work better, I would need to clear my mind. Now, since I have cleared it with um, meditation and energetically, it was actual health, like an actual physical thing. And so I needed to address myself physically. So I started a program. Okay. And then something came up and I had this physical reaction and it was not pleasant. It was hard and uh, you know, and so I had a physical reaction. So then I had to. What happened was, all right, did you just hear the sound in my throat? It's not supposed to be there. Ah, and so I've been addressing this issue because it started in January, and this is why I've made less videos because I knew something wasn't right, and I do not want to communicate if I don't want to communicate unless I'm clear. I mean, clear in terms of, I don't want to go through all the details, but like I just said, energetically, mentally, emotionally, physically, grounded with the soul in the body. And I am the master spirit in this body. I am the living soul in form in this human form, this human body. Okay. And the soul that I am is the only thing that I give permission to be in the body, to speak through my body and through the mechanism of my mind and my throat, etc. but but so I heard this weird sound, and that's why I decreased my videos. So first of all, that's why I have less videos since January, February, March. Well, I think this is my second video in March. So I was like, I'm addressing this, okay? Because I take this stuff very seriously. And through a mechanism that I don't want to get into, I figured out what happened. And I figured out how it happened, and I figured out everything else about it. So I had to add another program that I had to do, another health, learning about health and changing things in my daily routine and my body and, all sorts of stuff, food and everything. And the results have been amazing. I saw results within a week. I've seen results within a week. Well, now it's been more than a week. It's been a week. The week I saw results was like a few weeks ago. And so the idea is slow improvement and progress every day. But here is the point I was trying to make. So I want to keep this video short. And the point that I was making is for true healing, it's important to see the other side. No matter what someone has done to you, or no matter how you've been treated, or no matter what crazy thing went on, if you're willing to pause and put that to the side, do you have to address it in action? Sometimes, yes. All right. In an appropriate way, that's right for you. And so you listening to this are a living human being with a living soul and your own ability to access inner guidance and tools and things in the world to assist yourself in that. So I'm not going to address that and all the many things that you could do because I want to focus on the spiritual and the energy, which is my forte. So here's what you do after or during, or at some point related to taking action in the physical world, there's an inner shift that requires to occur, in my view, for total and complete healing, to bring the situation into wholeness. And this is what it is: to love whatever else has been involved, whoever else has been involved, in every way that it presents and exists. And how do you, oh, I just got it. I just got it. I just got it. The key and the secret for me, for the final thing I need to do on this. There's something I wasn't loving about it. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna do that. Okay, we're not gonna do it on video. Should I do it on video? And you could see the transformation. Oh Lord. Fine, I will do it. My guidance is saying to do it. All right, so let's just, if you want to create a sacred space of your own to address whatever is going on for you in this moment, well, then I invite you to do that. And I'm going to focus on the heart, on my heart. Now, I am in a space of my own energy field and my own body, and I have parameters set that disallow interference with my field or my body, and so on. So I encourage you to begin to consider yourself as an independent, sovereign being, energetically sovereign. Okay, the focus is on sovereignty is energetic. Sovereign means like of being the king or the queen, and we are the king or queen. Now, everybody, there are lots of people that say that, oh, queen, whatever it is, but a goddess, I'm laughing, but I do that too. I do that with friends. So anyway, what I'm trying to say here is that the reason that you are royal is because you have a living soul. You are of divinity, the Most High, incarnated into human form. That is why. That is why, because the divinity within you is the king or the queen within you. Okay, that's the secret. That's what it's about. And when we make divinity within us the king or the queen, when we elevate the divinity within us to that status, we change our lives, because that's when we align with that, and then we co-create with that. Now, all of that is a longer story, but there's stories in the Bible that I'm tracing along with, and I'm particularly thinking of the story in Samuel where the king is passing, and Samuel asks, and the king asks God, um, who should be appointed the next king, and God says the people should choose me. All right, so this is humbly saying this. This is how you do that related to your human energy field and your soul. Okay? You connect with the soul and the heart. Oh, gosh. So let's love. Let's love. Now, I'm not asking, for I'm doing this process, inviting you to love within your own heart. Okay, so you're an energetically sovereign being. I am an energetically sovereign being. So there's no overlap here in the energy fields. No. Okay, just being clear on the parameters. Because my relationship is with God within, this living soul that I am, the spark of divinity, the living flame. And I invite you to consider that for yourself, and ask to be in a relationship with it. So I'm just give me a second and I'm going to love. Wow. I'm going to love without understanding. I'm going to love something that intellectually seems unlovable. And I'm going to do that without understanding why, just knowing that all of creation serves my highest good when it's presented to me in my life, that God changes that from darkness to light. And therefore, this is a mechanism of transformation in a way that I don't understand. And that's okay. So I'm going to love the mechanism. I'm going to love the being. I'm going to just love. I'm going to love myself for taking this long to recognize it, but having the insight on video so I could share it with you in the moment. Now, I have all sorts of energy field parameters and this and that in place. In the human energy field workshops, I describe all of those mechanisms. And give me a sec here while I love. And I invite you to breathe deeply and breathe into your heart. Wow. Wow. Yeah, that's a lot. That is a lot. This is some creepy stuff that I'm going to love. Oh, very creepy. I'm still going to bring my love. Wow. So amazing when you do that, it just immediately transforms. Of course, I have done this, I don't even know how many times, possibly dozens and dozens. So I know what I'm doing and I know how to do it. So that's why I'm not explaining it, because I only want to explain things and share things where I've given a problem and a solution. So the solution today for everyone is to just breathe and love. And if you don't know how to love, trust that it's just there somewhere. Somewhere your soul will assist you. But first you ask. And if you do know how to love, but you lost the feeling, bring to mind a past circumstance and focus on that as you focus in on your heart. Now let me just finish loving here. Oh, gosh. Oh, got it. Oh, wow. That was intense. This is probably more than most people want to sit through, but this is the way that it's done. Deciding to be there with yourself, to stay there until the end, until it's done. Gosh. Wow, I feel freer. This is awesome. Hold on, I don't know what's going on yet. Oh, Lord. Aha. Interesting. Uh-huh. Gotcha. Gotcha, gotcha, gotcha. I've seen this before. All right, I found it. All right, I'm going to do the rest of that work. So, again, you can pause work, and you can pause engagement with energy simply by commanding it in alignment with your highest good, alignment with God within, soul within, God the Most High, the creator of all that is, the creator of the universe, the I am that I am. All right. So when I ask, it's done. So I'm going to come back to that later. And it's outside my field. So it's not within. Excellent. You know what? Thank you guys. I feel like, you know what I'm feeling right now? I feel like there's a bunch of you that have just been wishing me well, and that's been a blessing during these last, gosh, I think it was 9 days or 12 days. I don't even know. And that you wanted this for me. That's what I feel like. Once it's done, because I have to complete the energy work and meditation. This is really going to be a big shift. And I feel that I'll be able to speak more clearly. It's not the only thing that's happened, since January, but it's just a cascade of amazing, amazing correlations and experiences and interactions that I'm grateful for. And I want to thank all of you who, especially if you're still here, because you're still here, I thank you for sticking with me all this time. And I wish that I was someone who could, just whip out the content every single day or consistently Monday, Wednesday, Friday, but apparently that just hasn't been me. It wasn't how I was able to do it, even though it might be frustrating sometimes. And I just want to acknowledge that, that's how it is. But I go with my inspiration. And when my inspiration comes through, it's beautiful. And to be honest, I just couldn't even access it in the time that I didn't make videos. Oh, it's not that it was gone. It seemed like it was gone. Okay, fine. It seemed like it was gone. I knew that it would come back. I just didn't know when. And I don't want to make videos unless I'm connected, unless soul is active, like I'm embodying the living soul. And I was still embodying the living soul, but my soul energy was like, we're doing this now. We're not making videos. We're going to do this other thing. And so I said, okay, because I choose to align with God through me. And if guidance, spiritual guidance of the Most High, light, and I qualify that. It's really important to qualify your spiritual guidance. And since I have a Christian background, when I seek guidance, my guidance team includes Jesus Christ, Archangel Michael, Mother Mary, the archangels named in the Bible, Archangel Raphael, Gabriel, Uriel. And why would I share this with you? Because I want you to know what my resonance is, because you're listening to my video. And if I was listening to someone, all right, I check their resonance within. And to be honest, it doesn't have to be everybody that I resonate with, but yet it just turns out that, so many of the people that I resonate with are Michael people, Archangel Michael. And, the leader of God's army, for goodness sakes, and a brother to all of us on earth, all of us humans, and whoever else is on earth. I don't know. I'm not going to speak for anybody else. All I know is he's a brother to humanity. But the others too. Yeah. Yes, others too. He's right here with me. Thank you. I love it when, it's really interesting. I love teamwork. And that's why I like personifying. Archangel Michael is the personification of divine will. Jesus, in my view, is a personification of God's energy. And I'd rather work with them because I imagine them, in human form, and I'd like to work with a team. Yeah, I like teams in human life. I like having friends and working with other people where that's possible, where we all rise to the occasion of doing that. Anyway, I wanted to make this like 15 minutes, but it is what it is in terms of timing, right? So that's what I'm doing. If you wanted to stay for the meditation, you've stayed, and I'm going to make a conclusion here. All right, fine, 37 minutes. We're going to make it 37 minutes. That's what the guides are saying. So I like to talk to them as team members because it's fun. Oh my goodness. So now I'm having all these, after having that insight with you all, thank you. I'm talking to my audience. Thank you. And you guys watching. And after having that insight and then bringing it into the physical body, because you see how my physical body, I brought the energy in, did the love. I loved what seemed unlovable. And boom, it shifted. It has to, because love is from God. And if you're going to meet God, you're going to transform. And when I say that, I mean the light through me, the love through me. That is my willingness to allow divinity to create that within me and with me. And I am these things in the moment, right? And so are you. When you receive it and when you transmit it and when you be it and so on. We don't have words for all these things. We don't have words. And it's interesting because I have a person close to me who is in training to be a Christian minister. And I love talking to this person about spirituality. And it's so interesting because she has really accepted, like I know that you thought it would be you, but it's actually, it's actually someone who's been in my life for years, or very many years. So, and I have new friends in that as well, I'll just say. So, gosh, I'm so blessed, right? I really do feel blessed by you all. I feel blessed by my engagement and friendships with you and through the comments and our relationship we've had over YouTube and things like that. So thank you. Well, what I appreciate is that she's willing to, and I'm willing, we're really willing to listen to each other's language and allow it to unfold. And she'll say something and I'll say, well, in energy, I'll explain. She'll say a Bible passage and I'll say, in energy, this is how I see that working. I see all this energy movement and et cetera, because that's how I see the Bible. And then when I say something, she'll say something like, well, in the Bible, it says this and this and this. It's just such a wonderful experience to share like that with her. Okay, I was supposed to stop 2 minutes ago. I don't know, maybe in the editing it'll get pared down. So here's what I wanted to say. Now, you just saw the process I went through. What's the next thing? To love the other side. That's what I said early on. But then we just did it in action. And I think the spiritual guides wanted me to do it in action so you could see what that looked like. To love what it seems unlovable, whether it's a person, place, thing, whatever, influence, pattern, energy, entity, all of that. I'm really including all of it. And, I can love it outside my field, from outside. I can have it outside my field and love it. I recommend do not bring it into your field to love it. Nope, don't need to do that. What's in your field is the love. And then you don't force the love on let me be clear about this. You don't force the love on whatever you're loving that is on the other side, that you whether it's somebody that you felt did something that wasn't nice, or you had a difficult, challenging engagement. All right, so let's make this blue coaster the other person. Actually, here, we'll make it the brown, we'll make it the cork. So as the love approaches, okay, as the love approaches, what this is, and I have this is outside my field, okay, I can imagine it. See here, it's outside, okay, it's outside the circle, but I can love it from in here, right? Because I generate the love in this beautiful energy field, which I imagine has a boundary, and then I be that love, and I focus my attention on whatever I focus it on this. I'm pointing it towards you. I would just, look at it like that. I would just look at it and be in love. Okay. And very often I watch it transform. Now, there's way more to it than this. Okay. Because there's all these processes, there's rules, there's parameters. But try it. Try it with that family member you're not getting along with. Try it with them. Oh, it's going to take time. It's not going to happen the first time. Well, maybe it will. I don't know. Never say never. God works miracles. Remember that. God works miracles. Miracles can come into your life and be present. That also happened to me. It was so awesome in the past few weeks. And, miracles happen, and my choice is just be in the moment with it and see what transpires. When we give the outcomes to God, our highest good unfolds. And when we are attached to outcomes, we restrain the divine from working its will in our lives. From working its will, which is actually also our will when we align. The will of my own soul. Do I want to align with that? Yeah, hell yeah. Heck yeah. Cancel, clear hell. Right? That's what we're in before we choose alignment many times in this world. Really, right? Am I right on that? I think I am. That's what it's felt like to me. Thank God, thank God for upliftment and this beautiful environment, right? Between you and me talking right now, and you listening and communing together here in the space. Because, in terms of this video, you are important to me. Without you listening, I wouldn't have a channel. I mean, I have a channel because you listen. Let me say it that way. And because you listen, because you must feel that you resonate or benefits you, or I don't know why you're listening, but probably those reasons. And so I truly give gratitude for your presence here with me. And whether you listen for 30 seconds or the whole thing, or you come back a few times. And some people tell me they watch my videos over and over, and I can't tell you how grateful I am about that. I don't think you can understand how much you bless me if my work benefits you. And the reason why is because I've seen it in the afterlife. I haven't had a near-death experience, but I've had enough other experiences to know that your presence here is a blessing to me, and I give gratitude for you. And if anything that I do benefits you, I love that. And if you're a content creator and you reference my work, I ask you to live link to me, please. And consider sharing my media, my content on social media, or whatever works for you, really. You know, there's a wonderful lady who's sharing my stuff right now in her church groups. Isn't that cool? Thank you for doing that. She knows who she is. I mean, that is awesome. And since she's sharing it, now we're having a discussion because her people have questions. I'm like so excited about this. I can't even tell you. So thank you for doing that. And the other people too. The doctor who contacted me through my through my comments. You know who you are. And I said, I can't talk to you about physical ailments because I'm not a doctor. And she said, well, I'm a doctor and I know what to do, but I want to talk to you about energy. And I was like, that is so cool. And you guys have blessed my life. I don't know what I would have done without this channel. The past few years. See, this is another reason why I didn't make videos as much and I didn't make them for 20. I knew I was going to cry. It's really been a blessing. And it still is a blessing, and it'll be a blessing in a new way. Because I'm going to add to my content. And, while I was making this video, the guides just told me that I should do this more. And maybe I'll do it like in a membership area or on YouTube, because YouTube has asked me so many times, make a membership channel, make a membership channel, make a membership channel. YouTube keeps telling me to do that. And maybe it's time that I said, yes, YouTube, I will step up and do it. And YouTube keeps asking me to make shorts. And you know what? I like YouTube. I love you, YouTube. I love you, YouTube AI. It's pretty cool, All right, you guys, I possibly have embarrassed myself enough here. And yeah, keep at it. Do the good work. And if you want to do more meditations, join me in my human energy workshop. It'll be later on in the year. And yeah, thank you.